Hello, thank you so much for tuning into this training video on protecting yourself as a financial coach. I am Kelsa, the president of Financial Coach Academy and a practicing financial coach for the past 10 years. Over the past decade, I have been on a mission to take the stress out of money, and I do that in two ways: by coaching individuals through their own money challenges and by coaching others like you who want to be a financial coach as well. Today's training video is on protecting yourself, the types of insurance out there as a business owner. And these topics I know are huge hurdles for individuals who are trying to become financial coaches. They're not sure where to start or where to dive in. So I invited the wonderfully talented Lisa Fraley to join me for this training video since she is the expert in this area. She is an attorney, legal coach, speaker, and #1 best-selling author of Easy Legal Steps that are also good for your soul. I just love that. With her unique blend of coaching, legal expertise, and spirituality, Lisa has supported thousands of heart-centered entrepreneurs and small business owners to protect themselves, their businesses, and their brands through do-it-yourself legal templates, corporate entities, and trademarks with lots of legal love, so they don't have to worry, stress, or fear that they're legally naked or exposed. Her credentials, you guys, are so vast. I will not even try to share them all. If anything, I will just direct you to her website, lisafraley.com, so you can read all about her skills as both a health coach, a life coach, a transformational master coach, and oh yeah, an attorney as well, right? So where we are trying to take the stress out of money, Lisa is here to help you guys take the stress out of legal concerns. Thank you, Lisa, for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Kelson, for that nice introduction. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh God, it's so easy when it's you're as
Oh,
successful and talented as you are.
you're very kind. Thank you. I find that so many entrepreneurs in our space who are becoming financial coaches or other coaches, we're all just so multi-interested and multifaceted. Like, I'm no different than anyone else. We all have these varied interests, and that's what's so great because we can bring them together and then help our clients.
Yeah, I completely agree. So, and I know you and I were talking about financial coaches and how we're sort of like our own weird breed of people. And a lot of entrepreneurs who have like an entrepreneurial spirit, they could just jump in with 2 feet and, say they'll figure it out later and not so much worry about some of the details or the legal issues. And financial coaches, we're planners. We like to plan 3 steps ahead. We want to have it figured out before we take step one. And I know these concerns about, do I need insurance? What are my contracts need to say? And am I have the right business structure? These are the types of things that really stress a financial coach out and stop them from moving forward with actually helping people. So today's video, we want to really just share with them about insurance in general. And if you could just start with, like, when is it needed? What are the types of insurance even out there? Because there's a few different types, right?
There are. And first of all, as we shared in the last video, like, thank goodness that you're a planner. Like, I love and honor and just want to acknowledge you for being a planner and for helping your clients be planners too, because that is a skill that is so helpful. Because once you get clear on some of these issues on the front end, legally, with insurance, with business structures, then you can go forward and have this business that you really want to create to help other people, because that's why you're here. That's why you're doing this work.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I think helps people is knowing that you have a safety net to hold you, to hold and support your business. We talked in the last video about creating business structures to do that, like LLCs and S Corps. And in this video, we wanted to talk to you about insurance. Now, there's several different types of insurance that you might consider for your practice. And of course, I do have to share that this information is general and informational, just designed to help you get some legal information. It's always important that you talk with your own attorney, your own accountant, your own insurance agent about what's right for you. But we're just trying to educate you and give you some information to help make this world not so foreign and make you feel more comfortable as you sort of dive in. So when it comes to insurance, a lot of it will depend on how you set up your practice. Like, where do you practice? Are you in an office building where you're leasing space? Are you in your home with a home office where you actually see clients coming in and out of the door? Are you in a home office where you do all your work by telephone or by Zoom or Skype? First of all, part of it depends on how you set up your office, right, Kelsa? Because people may be exposed to different risks depending on their situation.
Got it. So the purpose of the insurance is to protect you from the risks that the client is going to be taking, essentially. So they're coming over to your house. Are they going to slip on
Yeah.
water on the floor, for example.
Exactly. Yes, a lot of times. So insurance is there to protect your business from potential risk or harm. So who could potentially harm you in your business? Well, you just mentioned beautifully clients, right? If you have office space where people are coming in and out of your office and they might trip on your snow or ice or rain or whatever outside, like in a slip and fall case is the easiest thing. Or maybe they're coming to your home office where they come in the door and trip over the lamp cord or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That type of insurance you want to get is sort of general liability insurance for people who are coming to see you in person. General liability insurance is kind of called slip and fall insurance, and you can talk with your insurance agent about that. For physical space, seeing clients in physical space. Now, for those of you who are not seeing people in physical space, you don't have to worry about that type of insurance as often, because if you have a home office, for example, it may or it may not, you got to read the fine print, as you guys know, it may or may not be covered through your homeowner's insurance. So check that out. And if not, you can get a rider usually, or you can get some sort of insurance to cover your home office that's separate from the next type of insurance we're going to talk about, which is professional liability insurance.
Okay. What about, does the umbrella policy?
Umbrella, yep.
First one. Okay.
Exactly. That was the other thing I was going to say is that when you have your homeowner's insurance to protect your home, often home offices aren't included in that. Sometimes they are, but usually they're not. So what Kelsa just mentioned is an umbrella insurance policy. Like you literally think of it as an umbrella covering you so that none of the rain sneaks through, none of the liability sneaks through and gets you wet. And this is a policy that's often done in the $1 million increments, where you can pay for $1 million umbrella policy or 2 million or 5 million or whatever you want to cover what's not included in other policies.
Got it. So, because I do find that some general homeowners policies, if it's someone's over there in like a revenue generating state for you, then it's not going to be covered.
Exactly.
Umbrella usually does cover that, is what you're saying.
Yes. Again, make sure you talk to your own insurance agent and read the policy. But yeah, generally speaking, that will cover you for liability for things that are outside of your home owner's policy. But the other type of insurance that most everyone needs is actually professional liability insurance. Sure. This is the one that covers the work that you're doing in the scope of the practice that you have. So you're a financial coach, you're giving people advice about money or giving people advice about reduction of debt or asset protection or whatever it is that you're doing in relation to money. There's all sorts of things, as you guys know. That is where the insurance will come in to protect you around the advice and the information that you're sharing with your clients in that role, wearing that hat as a financial coach.
Yeah. And I think financial coaching as an industry, as the time that we are recording this video, is very new as a practice. And so it's very hard for us to find professional liability insurance. I have found I've had to have manual underwriting done. Everybody wants to put us in the same boat as financial advisors.
Right.
A ton of compliance requirements and all of that. And we don't.
Yes. Yes. But you can usually come under business coaching.
Business coaching. Yep.
Yes. Business coaching is one that you can look for because business coaches are recognized. And actually business coaches sometimes falls under life coaching, oddly enough. Yeah. That there are life coaching policies out there that will cover business coaching, which kind of covers financial coaching too, because life is encompassing of everything.
Yes. Exactly. Yep. I was going to say that, or like financial. I do a daily money management service that I offer. And so I couldn't fit under the business coaching. I really do pay people's bills for them and
wow.
as well. So it was definitely,
what do you not do, Kelsa? What do you not do?
I do not. So it was not financial advising. It also wasn't accounting and bookkeeping, which is where they try to put us in these different categories because they hear money or financial. Right. That's what we are.
Exactly.
So, certainly, where do you recommend like a business insurance agent or that kind of thing for an insurance policy such as the professional liability?
Yeah. So actually what I recommend is Googling. First of all, we love Google. Just Google business coach insurance, financial coach insurance. Start there for business coach professional liability insurance to see what policies you might fall under there. And then also pick up the phone and call your own insurance agent and get their help and guidance. Tell them what you're doing, tell them the type of business that you have, where you're operating, how you're operating, and find out what, do you need an umbrella policy? Is your homeowners cover you, which it may not? Do you need, how does that work? Just make sure that you're talking to them as well.
Yeah. And I found on my policy, there's a lot of riders you can add. So there's like a see one. So if, somebody breaks into my computer and steals private data, then there's a separate rider for that versus, I was shocked by the sheer number of riders that you can add. It can be a little overwhelming.
It can. And this is important that let's say you're a financial coach who wants to do a retreat in Bali for financial coaching or something. You can get a rider to do a retreat in Bali, for example. Like, who knew, right? Sometimes also if you go to speak at a corporation, or you go to speak at an event, or you go to speak at another coach's event or something, they may require that you have a rider for that type of event as well. So you can get those as well. There's a lot of different options.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so then what is that the same as E&O insurance?
Okay, so E&O stands for errors and omissions insurance. And this is sort of an interesting policy that was derived often in a corporate setting, because what it's saying basically is that it's going to cover you for any errors or omissions that you make in your practice. It's kind of like the catch-all insurance policy. So sometimes it's designed to cover things that might not be covered in your professional liability insurance policy. But again, you can check it out as another layer of protection. Most coaches I found do fall into that professional liability insurance, but you can also look into that as a way to protect you additionally.
Got it. And then protecting your, if you do have a practice outside of your home. So
yes,
your equipment and your furniture and office and all of that.
Yes, you can get insurance to cover well, it depends. Sometimes if you're renting space, you're literally required to get like renter's insurance, just like if you're renting an apartment, sometimes that's required. It's same is true in the business setting. You can also get insurance to cover your equipment, like you're talking about, Kelsa, to cover the cost of that. For a lot of people who aren't in an office space, you don't have a lot of equipment, right? A desk, a computer, a printer, a phone, like maybe a second computer, lamps, like you're done. Bookshelves.
Yeah, probably not the most expensive brand of
goodness, right?
Yeah. Wayfair, we're buying it off IKEA, Wayfair,
Yeah, exactly. And taking it all as a legitimate business expense.
Yeah.
But for some people, they do have a more sophisticated practice that's in a space that they're renting. So again, talk to your insurance agent to find out specifically what's right for you. They may not know about the financial coaching side. Even traditional agents, just like traditional lawyers, don't do a lot. They don't operate in the coaching space traditionally. So just tell them what you're doing, educate them, and then ask them and do your own research as well.
Sure. What mistakes do you see people making as far as insurance goes? Besides, I guess, just not having any insurance at all, maybe is probably what mistake number one, but.
Exactly. Well, here's the thing about insurance. It's really there to protect you if something goes wrong, right? So a lot of times people who are planners want to know, am I going to be protected if something goes wrong, right? What's the plan? What's going to happen? What's covered? What's not covered? So I think one of the biggest mistakes, and this can happen to all of us, is sometimes we don't actually read the policy. Read the policy to actually see what's included and what's excluded. Now, a lot of financial planners, you are detail oriented. Financial coaches are detail oriented. You're not afraid to get into the weeds and sort through information. So read the policy and see, and then don't be afraid to ask questions. Like, your insurance agent is your professional to help you. The lawyer's there to help you. Your own accountant's there to help you. None of us can see our own situation as well ourselves, even when we're highly knowledgeable about it. It helps to have that other person to bounce things off of. So just make sure you're using and asking that professional questions that you have.
I think one of the other tips that I give financial coaches that I work with is know what you need to do if you get notice of a concern from a client or something. So a lot of the policies have where you have a certain window that you need to report it in, or you have steps that you must complete within a certain time frame, and you don't want to miss that time frame just because you didn't know that you had to do something. But the policy will absolutely lay that out, and you simply want to know what is expected of you if you get that concern from a client, that phone call or something like that, or that email that says, I'm upset about something. That's when you really need to know, like, what is my role here?
That's such a great point, Kelsa. I really love that you shared that, because the critter brain, right? The part of us, the fear part side of us that holds us back and that keeps us sort of small, is scared of not knowing or not sure, and when you can give yourself the gift of having that information up front, then it does stop you from being stopped. Like, it does allow you that ease and that grace to be able to go forward to create this business that you want to have, because you have that comfort of knowing what would happen if something were to go wrong, and you have the right steps in place.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know, seeking help from an attorney can oftentimes be a little intimidating, Lisa. I don't know if you hear that ever, but you are like the
Yeah.
least intimidating person. But so tell people how they can get help from an attorney if they need it.
Sure. So I always recommend that you have a local attorney that you work with who you can trust, who understands your business. Make sure that they are aware of what you're doing and how you're doing your work. A lot of traditional attorneys, love them, they're not as familiar with the financial coaching world or even the coaching world at all. And that's sort of how my business came to be, because I came from the coaching background and the legal background and pulled it together, hence the ampersand. So make sure that you're working with an attorney who you trust, who understands the work that you do. And I'm always here as a resource to also help you. If I can't help you directly, I will point you in the right direction, but I'm here to help make the law less scary. I wrote my book, Easy Legal Steps That Are Also Good for Your Soul, that lay out the 7 main steps most entrepreneurs need as they grow in their business to make it really not scary and not intimidating. It's just like people who come to you for financial advice and help. They're scared, they're vulnerable, they're uncomfortable. So I just try to help make the law a little bit easier, a little bit more relatable, so that it doesn't hold you back and stop you.
Yeah. And you have a podcast. What's the name of your podcast,
I
Lisa?
do. It's called Legally Enlightened Podcast. And it gives bite-sized legal tips in 20 minutes or less to help you understand. There's even a podcast on like, what's an LLC and when do you need to have one? What's an S corp and when do you need to have one? What disclaimers do you need for social media? Do you need to register your business? Like little tiny snippets of information to just help you dissect it, rather than feel overwhelmed.
I love that. So as for you as a financial coach, the listener, or your clients, if you're going to be helping business owners, or maybe you have a client who's not a business owner now, but they decide to take that leap at some point while you're working with them, use Lisa as a resource. She's got a ton of DIY templates on her website as well, which I love. So be sure to check out the other training videos and materials available to you on financialcoachacademy.com. Reach out to our expert for questions and advice. And be sure to join our community of aspiring and veteran financial coaches on Facebook called Financial Coaches Unite. Talk to you guys later.